What's up, guys? Welcome to A Reseller's Life. My name is Chris. I go by Daily Refinement Online. In this series, I'm going to show you guys 5 different ways to wholesale stuff online, and I'm going to show you 10 real-world examples. I'm going to go to these places that I just found online researching today. This is a grind, so let's get straight into it. There is no quick way to do this, but I'll show you my process and methodology. Okay, let's go into the screen share. So the first thing you're going to do, the first thing I did was I Googled wholesale where I live. I live in Oakland, California. If you guys want to visit me, email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com. Maybe we can do some of this stuff in person so you can get an idea of how I do it. So there are 16 million results. A lot of stuff to look through. What I'm looking for is an unfair advantage locally. So I'm not going to only look at pallets. I'm going to look at local businesses. I'm going to look at Craigslist. Here I just typed in wholesale to where I live, and there are 3,000 results that I have to look through, looking through cell phones, auto parts. Here we have firewood wholesale. You never know what you're going to find, and my recommendation is always look at the wholesale in your area. You might get lucky and find somebody that's near you that's doing a high volume of something and needs help. Here we have wholesale pumpkins. So it's pretty awesome. You never know where you're going to run into. Craigslist and Google are going to be your friend. I also looked for wholesale distributors. I also looked up liquidation. I also looked up salvage. I also looked up storage locker auctions. There are tons of different places where you're located. Somebody asked me what is available in my zip code, and I just told them to Google their zip code plus the word liquidation. You're going to have to start here and go through everything yourself just like everybody else. Here we have liquidation from estate sales. You can now look up stuff on ereviews.com. You can use the Better Business Bureau. I like to use Yelp because what I'm looking for is local places that I can be the liaison for their online business. So this is where I talk about the click and mortar. There are a lot of brick and mortar shops that do not have an online presence. I like to run into those places. Since I'm local, I can work with them directly, and maybe they'll choose to work with me instead of somebody else. So let's get into a few of these. Also, directliquidation.com. You do need a resale license to look at these listings. I put mine in here. Now I can look through 875 listings for pallets. Maybe you want to sell AirPods, Lenovo laptops, Apple Watches, whatever in these pallets. You can look through these pallets every single day. You do need a resale license. In California, I believe it's free. I didn't have to pay for mine. Maybe I have, I'm not sure if I'm grandfathered in and it costs money now. I've had one for probably 4 years now. So depending on your state, get a resale license so that you can properly go in here. You basically are signing up so you don't have to pay sales tax. You're passing it on to the future customer. You can search only brand new items, or you can look at pre-owned, but I'm going to show you sort of the companies that I want to take a look at. Another one is Kravcom. This just popped up. If anybody has had experience with these guys, let me know in the comment section below. They're even looking for resellers specifically in the auto parts and accessories category. So very interesting. There's a lot to do. You're going to find out quickly that you're going to want to narrow down your products. I mean, here we have electronics, home, garden, and tools, automotive, clothing, shoes, jewelry, sports, computers, outdoor equipment, toys, kids, baby, industrial, beauty and health products, pets, musical instruments, and medical supplies. That's a lot of categories, guys. So you're going to have to pick one and get super good at it. Your unfair advantage that no one can take away from you really is just how hard you work in one specific category. But let's take a look at some real world examples of what's local. Obviously, recycling is also huge. This is a jam-packed video full of information. So if you guys can help me out, please like this video. That's going to help the YouTube algorithm spread it to other people. And if you want to comment below which one of these you're going to try, let me know. There is plenty to go around, but not in every single niche. So if everyone were to really problem solve in just one niche, you would be fine. But what happens is most people just flood the easiest one. So when you're looking at these different categories, you may want to pick one that's a little bit more difficult so that your market doesn't immediately flood with people. So here's one I'm going to go look at in person. Oaktown Spice Shop. I'm curious, how many of these spices are unique to this specific area? They have a website. I can go on there and look at what they're selling, get an idea of what might sell well, cross-reference this with what's selling on Amazon to get an idea. This store is within walking distance of where I live, so I'm curious. Can I help them sell some of this stuff online? I'm going to have to find out. I'll report back to you. I'm going to visit all 10 of these places in person to see if I can get anything going. Next one is Maker's Loft. I really like Makers. I think this is like the coolest part of reselling, is being able to make your own products. So I'm going to go visit this retail shop. It's pretty cool. Again, within walking distance of where I live. Look at the boutique, the stuff people produce. And of course, this is going to be harder to knock off, right? If somebody is literally the maker, you can see these are sold out. That's good news. So take a look at what's available jewelry wise. I'm also going to be helping a local US manufacturer wholesale some goods, so I'll have that in a separate video for you guys. Here we have Mace On. I don't know how to pronounce this. Hopefully someone can pronounce it for me. It is a French decor place, so I'm going to take a look. This is their website. They have a location in Rockridge, which is not too far from me, short drive. I like to look at unique items that are difficult to knock off, and I personally prefer selling more expensive items. So this one's a little bit of a long shot. Based on their Yelp reviews, this is not necessarily a place I'd want to do business with. On there, it says that they're not very good at customer service or not good at dealing with customers. That's already a red flag, but I do want to give them a chance and look at what's local. Again, whatever I can find right here that's made right here is going to give me a huge advantage over people that are living somewhere else. Okay, next is Toy House Montclair. There's a couple of toy stores where I live. I'm going to go in there and try to strike up a relationship with what happens to their goods at the end of the season. Basically, all you need to get started is a business card with a business email. That's going to help you get more credibility when you walk into these stores. For me personally, I don't share my store name on Amazon or my main stores on eBay because I don't want people to just copy the exact items I'm looking for. I'll give you guys a little bit of a hint when it comes to this. I'm only looking for stuff I can really reorder. And the reason is because just selling one-off items one by one is kind of just a job. Nothing wrong with that job. It's just that once it sells, you need to go find something else. I like stuff that's replenishable. That's why I'm going to release a series on my rental cars, because those cars rent and I get the car back. When you sell something like a toy, you don't get the toy back to resell again. You have to go look for something else. So when I go in here, I'm trying to leverage their wholesale relationships to get something that I can reorder over and over again. That's the idea behind this. That's the long game. They also have a website. You can see here they've got the brands that everybody wants, but they're probably not willing to give me those brands. But who knows? We'll go in there and figure out if I can get Lego from them, right? Who knows? Here we have Urban Indigo. This store is one of those stores, honestly, that I think sells the stuff that mainly eBay sells. eBay and Wish.com sell a lot of basically cheap junk. That's exactly what this store is. I can imagine this store going to Amazon, ASD in Las Vegas, and just picking 60, 70, 80 products that they want to resell, have them ordered, show up. You can look at all 122 photos of their site. I think they have a website as well. They sell a lot of jewelry. Go in there, check out what's selling well for them. Maybe try to sell some of the stuff that's not selling well for them online, or maybe we just partner up on the stuff that is selling well locally. Maybe there's that same demand non-regionally. We don't know. So again, very interesting place to go to. Now we're going to look at Nathan and Company. It's pretty cool because this guy's name is Nathan. So I was looking at his website. Sells a lot of really cool, kitschy home stuff. And I believe the home good category is the biggest category on eBay. So that is exciting. Hopefully I can strike up a relationship with Nathan. Again, don't be afraid to put your name in the name of your company. Chris and Company, Nathan and Company, this guy's able to get all these deals just by handing out his business card, and he is the name and founder. So, it's great. He's saying here they can pamper you the old-fashioned way. This is exactly the type of business that Amazon's trying to put out. So, a little bit scary there. This is the one that I'm interested in personally. I like coffee. Equador Coffee's is very cool. Looks like when you look at their wholesale inquiries, they are suggesting that you are normally a coffee shop, because they're saying, are you a high volume cafe or a hotel looking to serve our goods? I've seen Equador Coffee while traveling as well. I'm sorry, not Equador, Equator Coffee. And does it hurt to reach out to them to see if they have an online presence? Probably not. The only reason I'm going to reach out to them is just because they have a local branch I can go into, and coffee does interest me. I do have a Colombian coffee that I have access to because my wife's aunt lives in Colombia. So she has a bunch of businesses out there, and maybe I can figure out how to get the hookup on this Colombian coffee. Although, I'm not 100% sure how to sell it, but it's some of the best tasting coffee I've ever had. So if somebody out there in YouTube land wants to figure that out, let me know. I will send you a sample of it. It tastes really good. It's much better than the Colombian coffee at Costco, and maybe it's because it's small batch. So I don't know, but I think all we would need to do to sell it is have somebody taste it. It tastes superior to most coffees, especially pour over. So again, just interesting ideas. The whole point of my YouTube channel is to give you guys ideas on how to grow your business. I'm going to plug my reseller field guide in the description below. If you guys want to get sort of an overview of what reselling looks like, my guide is $70. If you want to use code YouTube, you get half off, so it's $35. That'll give you the outline for how to resell. Then you need to spend the rest of your time doing this, figuring out stuff to sell. So getting it all listed, different platform strategies, lectures, whatever, they're all in there, relatively inexpensive, and it helps me offset the cost of making these videos because I do spend a lot of time doing this and just helps out a lot. Okay, here we have East Bay Restaurant Supply. Where I live in particular, there is an insane amount of restaurant supply, cabinetry supply, woodworking stuff. There's so much stuff here. If you guys look at Alameda and Oakland, if you Google those two cities, you'll see the gigantic lots of containers, because a lot of the stuff from Asia comes through here in LA. So there's a lot of restaurant supply here, a lot of furniture supply, big heavy stuff shows up here. So I don't know what would come of that, but I am curious. I want to go to East Bay Restaurant Supply, take a look around. I don't know how I'm going to be able to film inside these locations, but it is something interesting to me. This is their website. So it is cool. I like to work with companies that have a website. That's why I recommend you make a website. Squarespace is not a sponsor yet on my show, but one day they will be because I use Squarespace for my website. Right now I have to give them a free plug. Chefs First, another shop locally. And then what am I looking for on Craigslist? Oh, cars. That's going to be a separate video. I'm going to show you guys the different cars I look for locally. And of course, guys, it's really, really easy. Actually, let me switch to the view. It's really easy to get overwhelmed when you're doing this. That's why most resellers that are successful only resell one category. It's not rocket science. Basically, if you chase 12 squirrels, you're going to end up with a hungry belly. You're not going to be able to make this work. You're going to have to focus eventually. So for me, I'm going to go to these 10 places because in the beginning stage, you don't want to just immediately focus on the first thing you look at. I'm going to need to research and find out which products are selling well, which products are not selling well, get an idea of the market, and am I interested enough in this topic to get good enough at it to do it. I'm looking for relationships that are long-term, that I don't have to go in there and hustle over and over and over again. I'm going to contrast it with the retail arbitrage thrifting model where you go every single day, day in, day out, look for things. Today, I went to Goodwill because I'm also going to build that model on the side for you guys. I think I'm perfectly happy managing a store right around 2,500 to 5,000 items with 2 or 3 people on staff, and that's it. I don't have desire to do 10K on the bay anymore. It's too big. It's too much to have that space in California. It's just too expensive. If I lived somewhere cheaper, then I would look into potentially maybe buying a building that I could put that in, because I can pay the $2,000 to $5,000 a month rent, but I'd rather that go towards a mortgage. So if somebody in the middle of the country wants to come up with some type of plan and work with me on maybe a 1,000 to 2,000 square foot place that we could buy, then I'm sort of interested in developing a relationship with a partner where I can turn all of these goods into real estate, because that is my end game. I would like to use my reselling profits to go straight into paying off the mortgage for real estate, because personally, I want to keep my bills as low as possible and just put all that money literally in the real estate. That's my only goal right now. I'm just living as cheaply as possible, building up as many wholesale connections as I can. But I still want that thrifting store because I feel like that's more accessible for most people. You have just immediately go out and find things, and that's going to satisfy that retail therapy that people need. Also, it's a quick way to earn money. I'm going to give you the quick breakdown of my thrifting goal. I'm hoping to thrift $90 an hour worth of profit. This is sort of the low end. Okay, and this is six $15 profit items. Okay, six $15 profit items. That's $90. When I go home, I want to have all of the shipping, prepping, packaging, sorting, all the grading, all that good stuff. I want to be able to process 6 per hour. Okay, that's 1 every 10 minutes, including everything, putting it away, shipping it, all of that good stuff, bookkeeping. That's what's in my course for $70. Half off code YouTube gets you get it for $35. But $90 sourcing per hour, $90 processing per hour. That equals $45 an hour, basically. And if you hire that out for less than $45 an hour, essentially you're making money with somebody else's time. That's the whole synopsis of my channel. Get that going with 20 hours of your time. The other 20 hours of your time, work on wholesale, whatever. If you already have a full-time job, then you can just skip the thrifting part and go straight to wholesale. Look for these relationships. I recommend that you have sort of 10 of these relationships always in the fire, working on them, and then actually maybe more, maybe like 100 relationships that you're slowly trying to develop, 10 people that you actually contact, and then of those 10, hopefully they can provide you with at least one product each. There's your 10 by 10 by 10 rule that we're talking about. I am also this week going to give you guys an example of a 10 by 10 by 10 store. I'm going to be researching a specific niche to get into. If you want to be a more sniper model, where you're like, this product, I want to get the 10 by 10 by 10 in it, that I'm going to go over that in a video this week as well. So I'm going to try to be as useful as I can. There's people with two different types of problems. One is you have too much stuff and don't have time to list it or don't know how to list it. The other people are people who don't have any stuff to list but know how to do it. So whoever you are, comment what you need in the comment section below, or email me, chris@dailyrefinement.com. I'm going to be showing you guys how to work with US manufacturers as well. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. It is a Navajo feather ring with blue turquoise and sterling silver. So this is something that is made by a U.S. manufacturer in New Mexico. I'm going to be trying to help her with her online wholesale. So we're going to try this out. This is my current strategy for helping her out. She has sent me 2 boxes to try. I already sold them as soon as I got them. But what I'm going to do is open up a few wholesale orders for this. It's mostly turquoise and sterling silver. So I'm going to open up the lots, and then I am going to be quality control because I've had a lot of problems with previous wholesalers working with me and being burned on the quality of the goods. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually manually inspect all this stuff first, and I'm going to handle the wholesale side of her business right now. So her store is Masha Silver, Masha Silver. You can go take a look at her eBay store and see if there are things in the store that you would like to wholesale and sell yourself. She has an average sale price of about $200. Every single piece in her store is one of a kind. So they're one by one, meticulously handmade. And that's going to basically make the wholesale cost right around 60%. It's pretty high. That being said, I'm going to offer a 1-week return policy. So if you guys want to try it, let me know via email, chris@dailyrefinement.com. I'm going to throw a link. I'm going to make a wholesale portal on my website this week, and that'll help people order. But the main key here is I want to figure out how to work with U.S. manufacturers. Place a small order. Take a look at what it is. List it in your eBay store. If you like something and you want to design your own product, they can manufacture it. Her specific expertise is casting. So I'm not a huge expert in manufacturing, but I am going to start trying to find a few US manufacturers locally in the US that we can work with so the turnaround time's a little bit quicker. It's Q4, so it might be time for you to start thinking about this. But again, Q4 is going to be here next year too. There's no reason to rush in the reselling. I don't want people to get stuck with a bunch of inventory they're not going to sell. That is the opposite of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for less but better, and you guys need to look for it. Look for things in that exact same manner. You want your store to get smaller and smaller and your SKU list to get deeper and deeper if you're just looking to scale, right? And if you're looking for fun, then you just want like a certain size store that can yield you a certain number of sales. One last thought before we go. Again, I'm going to ask you guys to smash the like button. The last thought before we go is somebody was saying in their large garage sale type store with tons of different items, what should I do to make the items sell faster? That question cannot be answered because each individual item in your store has a different market rate. Okay, this is why I like selling items that are over $50 because I don't need to mess with it that much because there's not that many items over $50 on eBay. Most of the items are $30 and under, the exact same as a thrift store. The average sales price of a top 100 stores is $20. Okay, that's the average. That's where everybody plays. I don't want to play where everybody plays. I want a more unique way of approaching eBay. I have most of my stores, I don't do any adjustments. I have no promoted listings. I'm not doing delist, relist, and I have no problems with sales because I'm just listing stuff that's more rare. When you type in, I just sold a pair of cycling shoes, there's only 4 of them available. There's only 4. And there's no reason to do any promoted listings or any kind of random things like that. And they sold for full price, $80. Brand new, they're 100 and something, but I listed them at 80, which is a lot. They sold for full price. I don't have any best offer turned on, but I was willing to wait a whole year to sell that because I paid, I think, $7.99 for them. So when you're looking at a long tail type store, then it's fine. You don't have to do all these crazy adjustments every single day and drive yourself crazy. You can just list it and wait. Now, if you are trying to do that fast turn, then you're in a different ballpark. If you're trying to do that fast turn, I recommend selling brand new items. Playing in the cheap but low sell-through category is extremely dangerous because you have all your money tied up in inventory that doesn't sell. Last thought. Andy, I'm reviewing his store right now. If you guys want a store review, you can get one at patreon.com/dailyrefinement. In that store review, he was talking about he only wants to pay $2 or less per item. He only shops at the Goodwill bins. That's a huge mistake, okay, because when you corner yourself into only paying $2, why wouldn't you pay $100 for something that sells for $150? You can't corner yourself into not spending money to earn money. Only buying cheap stuff limits you greatly reselling. There are a lot more resellers that do well selling cheap, brand new stuff or expensive one-off stuff. One or the other is just like the easiest way to actually do it. Right? That's where I've seen most of the people have success. So you can, of course, invent your own way of reselling and sell lots of cheap stuff slowly. I just personally don't recommend that. So I appreciate your guys' time. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.